Don't just build a business, build your own world. And don't just build a personal life, a marriage, a relationship with your children, your legacy. Build your own world. Planet Badass, if you will. Michael McLean, badassmillionaire.com, coming to you on a gorgeous afternoon from Alligator Alley in Naples, Southwest Florida. I'm listening to Steve Jobs' incredible biography by Walter Isaacson, I believe. And I've read the book a few years ago, and it's the best business building, world building book that I have ever read. And it's so long that I'm actually doing the unthinkable and listening to it as an audiobook on my drives to school, to and from when I'm driving my daughter Emery to school every day. It's 35 plus hours of listening pleasure. And the movies and the documentaries do not do this man justice in terms of being a complete and utter world builder. Steve Jobs and his time at Apple is a blueprint, an absolute advanced badass blueprint, top 1% of 1% of 1% of the lost art of world building. And what I mean by that is the man literally, over decades of his work, through his vision of the company, built a magic garden wall around his entire business, which was Apple. Apple computers, Apple products, Apple iPods, Apple iPhones, you name it. And his level of thinking, his level of passion, his level of drive is unmatched in terms of world building. Certainly anything that I've studied in the last 25 years. And that's saying something, because I've been reading business books, almost a book per year or per week, 50 plus books per year over the last 25 years. So I've read a lot of biographies, autobiographies, and this one here is in a total league of its own. Some of the highlights in the book, because 99% of the businessmen watching this video will never invest the 35 hours to listen to the audio, let alone read this door stopper. But the thing that sticks out to me the most in this book, and it's something that sticks out to me when I study the greats in anything, whether it's the arts, whether it's sports, whether it's marketing, whether it's business, music, you name it, is his relentless passion. And I mean relentless passion. 0.0001% compared to other ordinary entrepreneurs and businessmen. The term that is constantly referenced in the book is Jobs was furious. Jobs was furious. And to me, this frames a passion like no other. It wasn't something he did. Apple was who he was. And that's the same for all the greats. If you're a great coach, it's not what you do, it's who you are. If you're a football player and a good one, it's not what you do, it's who you are. If you're a great entrepreneur, business owner, creator, builder, it's not something you do, it's who you are. And that also applies to being a great father and a great husband. It's not something you do. If you're great, it's who you are. It's part of your DNA, part of your identity. But that was all through the book. His standards that were almost impossible to meet. And it's very clear that Steve Jobs, all through the book, they talk about, you know, how he's referenced as a complete and utter asshole. And admittedly, he was the first to say, you know, yes, he was. But it's interesting when you get a pulse for his level of passion for Apple and what he was trying to accomplish. You see that it's not just him lacking empathy, which he lacked in spades. It wasn't him being just unbelievably demanding, completely unforgiving of less than championship performance from the people around him. But this burning passion and desire on a short term that he literally suffered no fools. And this is what made his business so great. This is how he was able to build this incredible wall around Apple and his products. He took that company from dependent on other softwares and other technology companies, and he made it independent, where Apple was in a world by its own and they didn't depend on anybody else. He no longer had to go to Microsoft and beg for compatibility. He was like, I'm going to build my own world where I rule and where people can come and visit, customers can come and visit and never ever have to leave. And he invented products that people didn't ask for. He did it with his golden gut, which is the ultimate level of world building, where other companies are built on, okay, analytics. Let's see what everybody's buying. Let's see what else everybody else is doing, the Me Too system. Let's see if we can do it better and cheaper. We're the same as everybody else. When he built Apple, he did it with his intuition and his golden gut. He never used any surveys. He never used any, ask the customer what they want. He was building a unique and brand new world. And he had no interest in being like any other technology company. In fact, he hated the reference to being even a technology company. He was building his own planet Apple. And it's interesting when you read his story, nobody asked for the iPod. Nobody even knew what that was. Nobody asked for the iPhone. Nobody asked, for Microsoft products to be replaced by Apple products. Nobody asked for any of this stuff. It was stuff that he created in his mind, with his golden gut and with his intuition. And at one of his product releases, it might have been the iPad. It was maybe the iPad, or it was the iPod. Doesn't make any difference. He was asked by a reporter, what he did. Did he use surveys, customer surveys, to decide to build this specific product? And Jobs just scoffed at the reporter and said, did Alexander Graham Bell use surveys and questionnaires before he invented the telephone? So he was all about the golden gut. He was all about his own unique vision, and he wanted to do things and be the exact opposite of every other company. He was a badass millionaire to the core. He walked a completely different path. He wanted to build a universe of his rules, his terms, a universe that people would enter, stay for as long as they wanted, and leave. And one of the most incredible things that proves that nobody could build a business world better than Steve Jobs was the fact they did neurological studies in 2005. In 2005, they did neurological studies on Apple product owners. So people that owned iPods, they owned iPads, and they owned iPhones. They owned Apple products. And they did a neurological study, brain study, on these people, showing images, photos of brand new Apple products. And the response neurologically in their brain was the same, was termed by the testers as a religious experience. In other words, pulse rates, the effects on the brain wave, that it was just a complete and total wow moment to the Apple buyer who was viewing a brand new Apple product. This is how strong that Steve Jobs built his world. He wasn't selling computers. He wasn't selling laptops and MacBooks and iPhones and iPads. He was selling a world. He was selling a culture. He was selling a society where people would come and beg, literally stand in line for days, sleep in the streets to buy his next product that nobody even knew what it really was. He had raving, passionate customers and consumers, raving fans, passionate consumers who just waited for the next iPhone, the next iPad, the next iPod, without just blindly following this man because they were citizens in the Apple world. Just an incredible blueprint of how to build your own business world, how to build your own personal world, how to put a magic green garden wall around whatever part of your life and your business that you want, and to build it to suit your preferences. Most people, 99.9% of business people, they start up a business and they design it to suit the preferences of their potential customers and prospects. Steve Jobs did the exact opposite. He said, I will build a society, I will build a universe, I will build a planet, I will build a world, and I will invite citizens to come and spend time and money in his world. And he will control everything. He will control the products, he will control the functionality, he will control the packaging, he will control the shipping, he will control what's added to them, he will control the hardware, the software, and it's almost like you're part of this team or tribe that these people take incredible pride in being part of. On top of that, Jobs was such a fanatic that he produced the most incredible products with a focus on something that we have lost complete focus on today, and that's the power of simplicity. Jobs would sit for weeks, sometimes a month on end, with a product in his hand, walking around, looking at it, playing with it, even sleeping with it, to replace a single screw in one of the products. Always with this in his mind: how can I make this simpler? How can we make this simpler for the user? User-friendly is not a term that he even knew what meant. Everything he did was simplicity to the core. And to show you where his mindset is, one of the amusing stories in the book is when Jobs was being wheeled in to surgery for his liver transplant. Most people would be, concerned about the surgery and would be, pretty nervous about what's going to happen next. Not Jobs. He was talking to the nurses and the doctors and the surgeons about ways that they could improve and streamline, therefore simplifying the surgical procedure that he was about to undergo. Everything from the tables to the computers to the tools, how he could simplify their procedure and their system to make it better, simpler, and more efficient, minutes before his liver transplant surgery. That is a badass on steroids. One of the other things that he talks about in the book is he always knew he was going to die young. He always knew that he didn't have a lot of time. And once again, this was 100% intuition, his golden gut telling him that he wasn't going to have a long life. And this put a sense of urgency and pace in his dealings like no other human being on earth. They talk about the time way back in the day, 20 years ago, when one of the prime ministers from a country was there visiting the Apple factory. And his socialist wife gave it the old Bernie Sanders playbook and was talking to Jobs about how he should treat his workers in the Apple factory better, how they should be paid more, how they should. And Jobs got so upset at this person, this lady, that he left the scene, hopped in his Rolls Royce, and drove down the freeway over 100 miles an hour. So he gets pulled over by the police, driving his Rolls, fit of rage, fit of anger, and the police officer goes and writes him a ticket. Jobs is sitting in his Rolls Royce at the side of the road, and he starts honking his horn at the police officer who's behind him, parked, writing the ticket. Leans out of the window and says, "Do you mind hurrying up? I have places to be." And I laughed at that one. When I read that and when I heard that in the audio, I laughed about that one for 20 minutes. Talk about in a hurry to go somewhere. He knew his time was finite. He knew his energy was finite. He knew his good health was finite. And every damn second mattered. And he built the world, a business world like no other. This March 29th, I start for the very first time ever. I have my brand new Badass Millionaire World Building 8-week sprint. A sprint in Steve Jobs' honor. 8 weeks, I am going to help you build the personal and professional world of your dreams. Not my dream, your dream. We're going to look at everything from your business to your marketing, to your marriage, to your relationship with your children and grandchildren, your physical and mental health, your time management, life balance, and to the legacy that you're on the road to building. We're going to look in every single one of those areas over the 8 weeks, every Tuesday and Thursday, and I am going to help you build yourself a brand new world, a world that is built on your own terms. For the first time in your life, you're going to build it around what you want. Not your customers, not your clients, not some friends or other influences. What do you really want? And over the 8 weeks, we're going to use this time to build that. And it is going to be a personal world and a business world that we build that you never ever need to escape from ever again. It's going to be a business and personal world where you say, man, I don't need to vacation from this. I don't need to escape this. I mean, it's going to be seamless living 100% of the time. Whether you're spending time with your wife, your children, your grandchildren, whether you're working on your marketing, whether you're training in the morning, whether you're writing, whether you're reading, whether you're resting, it's all seamless together in your world. Your world, your terms, your world, your rules. Admittedly, I know a few, maybe two people, elite coaches that actually talk about world building, which I've just talked about. I don't know anybody on this planet. I don't know one other coach besides myself that actually is willing to teach the lost art of world building, personal and professional world building. On March 29th, I'm going to take 20 guys. That's it. 20 men over the age of 40, married with children, already successful, looking to build a world, personal and professional, on their own terms. To build your own magic garden wall. You let in the people you want, you repel the people you want, and you start finally living and doing business on your own terms. I have 20 men, that's it, that's all. I'm doing this program over the 8 weeks with you personally. For that reason, I'm offering an unthinkable $15,000 fat discount for you to participate. It's $10,000. It's expensive. It's for champions, not chumps. It's for doers, not takers. It's for builders, not complainers. But it's $10,000. There's no money back. There's no payments. It's $10,000. If you apply, if you get in, you're in. But it's $15,000 off what will be the normal price after I've done this with the 8 weeks with the first 20 guys. After that, it is an online digital coaching program that's $25,000, but I don't participate with you personally. I'm going to open up the doors in my own life, in my business, in my marketing, with my child, with my wife, the whole thing. I'm going to do this entire 8-week world building, and you're going to see me build a brand new personal world, build a brand new company world, brand new everything, just planet badass for me. But you're also going to build yours along with me, and I'm going to hold you accountable for making it your world, not anybody else's. This is for men that want to get better every single day. It's for men who are not satisfied with the status quo. You're not satisfied with ordinary and average, and you want to take your business and your life to the next level. You can apply below by clicking the button or going to badassmillionaire.com/apply. badassmillionaire.com/apply. And we start on Tuesday, March 29th. We go twice a week for 8 weeks straight. And I literally help transform your business, your marketing, your marriage, your relationship with your children, grandchildren, your physical health, your mental health, and we build you a badass legacy. If that sounds like the shoe fits, make sure you apply at badassmillionaire.com/apply. You and I will get on the phone for 25 minutes. I'll see if you're a good fit. I'll see if I'm a good coach, and we'll go from there. But to join the waiting list, okay, go to badassmillionaire.com/apply. There's like 4 or 5 questions. I'm fascinated. Tell me your story. Tell me your story by answering these questions. I'll put you on a waiting list for the last 2 spots. We'll get on the phone and we'll talk, and we'll start working together to build you a brand spanking new business in life starting on Tuesday, March 29th. That's it for now. 2 words. If you'd like a copy of my book, you can get a copy of my book at badassmillionaire.com. And once again, you can apply for my 8-week world building program at badassmillionaire.com/apply. That's it for today. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can definitely change your life. Be relentless.